Oh.
Every holiday season, there's one toy everyone has to have.
I want the Turbo Man action figure with the arms and legs that move, and the rockin' roaring jetpack, and the boomerang shooter.
Getting it is every child's dream.
Whoever doesn't can be a real loser.
Finding it
You got the doll, right?
is this father's nightmare.
I'll get that toy. I promise.
Whoa! Nothing like waiting until the last minute, Howell, sir.
Especially on Christmas Eve.
Turbo Man, you're mine!
They're all gone.
These two are looking for a Turbo Man.
Where's your Christmas spirit?
The last one just left.
Now, it's two fathers,
This is war.
one mission,
Oh, poor baby.
and every man for himself.
I'm thinking maybe, we could join up as a team. Like Starsky and Hutch.
Well, late delivery of Turbo Man. That toy works. Let's go.
Is there a problem, officer?
You can never do too much to make a child's Christmas magical.
Hey, buddy.
From the director of Mrs. Doubtfire,
You want a Turbo Man for Christmas?
Forget it. I'm not gonna sit in your lap.
Tony, show him.
That was taken this morning.
and from the director of The Flintstones.
Don't open that up. No.
Of course, there's some assembly
You know
required.
what you guys are? Nothing but a bunch of sleazy con men in red suits.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sinbad,
I work for the post office, and I'm unstable. Tell him.
This man is totally insane.
Thank you.
Christmas comes but once a year.
Jingle All the Way.
You picked the wrong day.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Movie Hero Network. This is Wheel of Movies, episode number 58, and we are discussing the Christmas film Jingle All the Way. Not really in honor of anything, just because we felt like it. I'm Austin Pez Howell, and alongside my co-host, as always, Richie Goodacre. How's it going, Richie?
I mean, it's near Christmas, in honor of Christmas.
Yes. But I just mean, like, we both were just like, what should we do for Christmas? Let's talk about Jingle All the Way, because it's batshit crazy. Why not? Let's do it.
Yeah, yeah. And that was only even though I thought that trailer gave, it showed a lot, it only showed a quarter how batshit crazy that movie is. So, yeah. So that those movies are really fun. I think it got misunderstood when it came out. I'm glad to discuss it. I've seen this movie like 16 times, so I didn't really need to watch it again, but I did. So I know it off the back of my hand. So, yeah.
No, I rewatched it as well anyways, but yeah, I've seen this movie probably at least 40 or 50 times. Like, I wouldn't have had to rewatch it anyways. I know this movie pretty much like scene for scene as well, but I rewatched it anyways. You know why? Because it's fun and I like it. So yeah, we're talking Jingle All the Way this evening. So we'll get sort of the facts out of the way, and then we'll get started talking about the movie. Movie is directed by Brian Levant. Despite what the trailer might say, that's kind of deceptive. Like, from the director of Mrs. Doubtfire and from the director of the Flintstones. Well, it's from the director of the Flintstones, Brian Levant. It's kind of co-written and produced by Chris Columbus, the director of Mrs. Doubtfire. So it's not really from the director. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when they say like from the director of whatever, you assume they directed it, but they're not. This is Brian Levant, not Chris Columbus.
Yeah, these days it'd be like from the writer of. Yeah, I know it was like it's a bit. You would think that from the director means that he had a part in directing, not writing.
And beware anytime, and Richie probably knows this, beware anytime it says from the producer or from the studio of, that means nothing. That means absolutely
nothing. It happens a lot. They're from the studio that brought you, or they're from the producer. Because Also, because a lot of people put their name on producers' credits, it doesn't mean anything. I don't know.
Yeah,
Also,
Steven Spielberg produces like 10 movies a year. It doesn't mean he directly has anything to do with a lot of them. He like his company, puts up the money for it, essentially, is what it means. Yeah, I mean, maybe back in the day he had more, but yeah, if you look at his producer credits, he has like 500 producer credits. It's insane. Producer means nothing. Studio especially means nothing, because that can just mean like, oh, it's a Warner Brothers movie. So from the studio of, name your favorite Warner Brothers movie, but also the worst Warner Brothers movie. So that means nothing as well.
Universal. It's like, they've also made bad movies. It's just like they're a big studio. They've been around for years. So they've made a lot of bad movies as well.
Yeah. So it's directed by Brian Levant, who was kind of a staple of family films, especially in the 90s. He directed Problem Child 2. He directed Beethoven, The Flintstones. He directed this movie, The Flintstones in Viva Rock Vegas. And that's where it really starts to go downhill, because then he directs in the 2000s. So pretty good in the 90s. A lot of movies that are still kind of watched now. 2000s is where it starts going downhill. Viva Rock Vegas, Snow Dogs with Cuba Gooding Jr. You got Are We There Yet with Ice Cube. The Spy Next Door with Jackie Chan. That's not a very good movie either. Yeah. Max 2, White House Hero, some dog at the White House movie. And he also directed the movie nobody talks about, A Christmas Story 2, not the Christmas Story Christmas, but A Christmas Story 2, that direct-to-video one with like Daniel Stern and like nobody from the original cast but playing the same characters. Do you remember this at all?
Vaguely. It
has one of the worst trailers ever, Richie. I'm going to show it to you after we go off the air. It's really bad. Like a really bad trailer. Yeah.
I'm also kind of flabbergasted that he also directed the Viva Rock Vegas, because I would have sworn that was a different director, because that's got, even though it came out of the theater, that's got direct-to-DVD written all over it.
But no, he directed that one as well. So and he produced and wrote some other stuff. But but in the 90s, I've seen plenty of Problem Child 2 a lot. I've seen Beethoven a couple times. I've seen the original Flintstones a good chunk of time. You know what I mean? I would say like this guy was part of my childhood in the 90s. So
those three movies you just mentioned, if they popped up on the wheel, I'd be happy to talk about. I like them.
Right. I'd be fine with that. Yeah, totally. So, but anyways, Brian Levant. The movie had two different kind of premieres, because it premiered. They did a special premiere November 16th, 1996, at the Mall of America, which is featured in the movie. He goes to the Mall of America sequence kind of in the middle of the movie. So they did a special premiere at the Mall of America that Arnold attended, and then he donated some props from the movie to the Planet Hollywood that was there, because of course it had a Planet Hollywood restaurant in there. They had like a special big event premiere there, and then general release of November 22nd, 1996. So about a week later. This movie had a budget of $75 million, which seems kind of insane for what it is. But keep in mind, $20 million of that was Arnold Schwarzenegger's salary, because he got paid $20 million. Yeah, because this was the 90s and Arnie was getting paid like $20 million a movie. So that was standard. So in order to get Arnold for this movie, they had to pony up the dough. So it would have been about a $50 million budget movie, and blew up to that. Anyways, so budget of 75, box office of 129 million. So
I would say maybe broke even.
Maybe broke even, back then. But it did well on video and DVD, so they probably made their money back eventually, and TV rights. So I'm sure they made money eventually, on it. And this one got played on TV a lot, and I'm sure sold a lot of videos and whatnot. So I think they did fine in the end, but considered somewhat of a slight disappointment given Arnie's stature at that time as an A-lister. So, but at least it released around Christmas time. I've got a note about one movie that came out where you might be like, wait, it came out then? And I'll get to that in just a second. Something that came out in the month afterwards. But anyways, Chris Columbus was kind of instrumental in sort of putting some of the cast together. He wanted Arnie. They actually, it would have been, they would have had to go to somebody else, except for the Planet of the Apes remake that eventually starred Mark Wahlberg got delayed, that Arnold was supposed to be in. I don't know if you remember the story or not, but Arnold was going to be in that Planet of the Apes remake in the mid 90s. But it got delayed through production hell, one means or another, and to where it eventually didn't come out till 2001, the Tim Burton one with Marky Mark. So because that got delayed, they got Arnold for the movie, and then we're able to get going with it. The original Myron was supposed to be Joe Pesci, Chris Columbus's buddy from Home Alone, which would have been a vastly different movie.
Okay, fair enough. I think that would have been just felt like almost Home Alone coded, with all the slapstick and shit. But what would have been vastly different with the sort of the wide. I don't know. I just can't see him being that guy. I need a
Turbo Man, Turbo Man.
Vibes. I don't know.
Yeah.
Turbo Man.
I just can't see it either. Him lugging around, throwing mail everywhere. I don't know. But anyways, that was the original plan, but they went with Sinbad, and they were happy with that. Sinbad improv most of his lines in the movie, quite a few of his scenes, and you can tell, the first rant he has, outside the store is very much like a Sinbad, improv rant. A lot of the stuff where he's doing the Johnny Omega, gun thing, is very much improv. A lot of the stuff was improv back and forth, but Arnold, to his credit, was able to improvise his reactions back to him. So he did a decent job kind of bouncing off of him and being kind of the straight man in those scenes. So, I think he does all right for what it is. But a lot of Sinbad stuff was just kind of riffing, off the cuff sort of stuff. So not bad.
I was reading something about watching something about Sinbad literally yesterday, and but I'm I was like, oh, whatever happened to him? Well, apparently it's just that he likes being famous, and he spent all his money. That was it, and he went back, and he went bankrupt, and
didn't he have a stroke a few years ago or something though? Something medical?
I think that there was that too. Yeah.
I saw him a couple of times do stand up. I saw him once in a pretty large theater in the early 2000s, and then I actually saw him in a comedy club. I want to say in 05 or 06, in a smaller venue, when he was working out some material. He's a great stand-up. I don't care what anybody says. That dude is really good at what he does. And he did a whole set at the comedy club where he had no planned material. He was just taking stuff from the audience and did a whole set. He was great, really, really good. And where he was just riffing off of, current event topics. He was taking relationship questions and life questions and making bits out of them. He's really, really good. So I think he's underrated or doesn't get enough credit for being a stand-up. I think he's very, very good. What he does, if you boil it down to. I mean, you're a stand-up, Richie. I'm sure you can at least appreciate that dude. That dude's a really good performer, for what he is.
Yeah, I think he maybe just got a lot of flack because maybe he plays overbearing characters and he can be annoying, but it's just the way he approaches his characters. I think I've seen some of his stand-up clips online. I think he's pretty good. It's I've always appreciated his comedy. So I know I'm probably coming across pretty choppy, slightly.
I think you were delayed for just a second
lately, but
I let you catch up, so hopefully you'll get caught up here. As far as the box office from around the time, sort of November, December of 1996, what was playing around your multiplex? Your top grosser of the month was Ransom, the Mel Gibson, Ron Howard movie. Big hit at that time. Big thriller. Yeah, that movie was a big hit, man. People forget that movie was big, and had that trailer. People remember. So with the Ransom thing, Space Jam, big hit, 1996, coming out around that time. So another kind of family movie running the box office. This is a really interesting set of movies because we got Star Trek: First Contact, which is great, my favorite Star Trek movie. So really good there. Romeo plus Juliet, the Leonardo DiCaprio movie, so one of his kind of breakout movies coming out and doing pretty well. Got Set It Off, 101 Dalmatians, the remake I always forget exists with Glenn Close. I just kind of forget that movie exists. Like it's there, and then I go like, oh yeah, I've seen it, but like I kind of forget that movie exists. So I got Sleepers, High School High with John Lovitz, The First Wives Club, R.I.P. Diane Keaton. What's that?
I forget High School High exists, but I remember the cover. He's got like an afro or something.
That cover is like the giant afro with like the cut into it. Yeah. No, I saw that at the video store constantly, and I like never rented it. I just was always like, that looks wacky. Got the very underrated Stephen Hopkins movie, The Ghost in the Darkness. Thinner, The English Patient gets it released a week later, which would go on to win Best Picture. And then a few things, Richie, in December. You have Jerry Maguire, which was a big hit. A favorite of both of ours, Beavis and Butthead Do America, December of 1996. Comes out and does pretty well. Mars Attacks. And I forget it released in December, which I think is bizarre. Kind of like literally the week of Christmas. Scream, December 20th, 1996. Does that not seem weird?
Obvious question. Why didn't they release in October?
I don't know. I don't know, but it released in December of 1996. I don't really know why, which seems kind of crazy given the fact that the sequel gets released in 1997. So did they crank that sequel out in like 6 months, man? They must have like really.
I don't know.
That's I don't think they filmed it back to back, but man, they had to crank that thing out quick because the next one comes out like literally a year later. So that's insane. Yeah.
And then like people, and it's weird that people have a high regards for the second one, and it's like it comes out less than a year later, and then they don't. There's a lot of people who don't like the third one, and what we do, and that came out that they at least waited 3 years, so that was 2000.
It reminds me of like we used to crank out like Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th movies like every year, like very very quickly, or every other year. Pretty much. And famously, Stephen Hopkins, who I just mentioned in The Ghost in the Darkness, when he was doing Nightmare 5, had literally like 3 months to put that movie together. Like he had like 3 weeks to shoot the movie, and then like a couple of weeks for post-production, and like that was it. And then they marketed it and it was out. It was like a very quick turnaround. That dude had like no time to make that movie and made it happen. So
it's like what they do with video games now. It's like, oh well, it's this time, so you got to crank out another NBA game,
Call of Duty, or Madden, or whatever. Things like that.
Call of Duty, and as a result, the quality, it goes down because it's like there's not much. It's like, what do you want me to do in that short amount of time? So it's always like, So sometimes just but then like on the TV front, I think they wait too long between seasons. You got Stranger Things. You got Stranger Things at the moment, where it's like, I think the season 5 or whatever, and it was like, the last season was what, like 2-3 years ago. It's like, dude, it's way too much of a gap between the things. You can't get people to remember what went on. So it's just like finding that middle ground. But I don't know. That's crazy that it was churned out that quickly.
Yeah, it was the same with we talked about sequels with like movies. You have to capitalize on them within like a couple years as well. Like I feel like they're taking too long on stuff like the Batman, where they could have capitalized on that by like now, and they're gonna still like what, year and a half or 2 years away. You know what I mean? Like it's just like, come on, guys, what are you doing? You should have capitalized on this like 2 years ago. You should have been done cranking these out. You gotta capitalize on the popularity of the things. You can't wait too long. You gotta jump on it. So, well, speaking of sequels, so we did have a sequel, Jingle All the Way 2. Have you seen it, Richie?
I haven't been game to. That's got Larry the Cable Guy. And does also have Santino. Is that
Santino Marella is like third build in the movie. Yes, so it is a movie with a wrestler in it. Yes, with Santino Marella. Yes, I've seen it once. It is not good. It's about like these teddy bears. They kind of abandon the basic premise because you can't do the premise anymore. I mean, we'll talk about this, Richie, as we go through the movie. But like, you can't do a premise like this anymore with the advent of computer and phone ordering. You just can't do this anymore. And the fact that, stores are, not as populated as they used to be. People still go to stores to buy stuff, but malls are like not really a culture thing anymore. Malls kind of died out in the 2010s. Like the 90s and the 2000s were kind of the last bastion of the mall.
Yeah.
But malls kind of peaked in the 80s and 90s. With mall culture, and you can't do this anymore. Like when I can go on my phone and do all of my Christmas shopping in a day, like it kind of kills the idea of this movie essentially.
Yeah, and it's not as interesting if you're like, I've gone on Amazon. I can't get all the Two Man dolls sold out. Oh, I'll go on this other website. Oh, they don't have it. It's just doesn't make for an interesting movie.
Yeah, or I can just probably go on eBay and maybe pay a little more, but probably still get one. From somebody who does have one that's very popular. And you're going to pay a premium, but you probably could just go to an alternate site and get one. From somebody who does have one. So
maybe you can make like a horror movie where you try to you at your wit's end and you try to get one from Facebook Marketplace. But you meet someone.
That's always scary. Yeah. And we got to meet behind, some kind of a supermarket, at 4 a.m. because that's the only time they're able to get out of the house. Yeah, wondering if you're going to get whatever toy you ordered. That's always scary. That's not a bad idea. Yeah, just call it Facebook Marketplace. Yeah. Yeah, will he survive the transaction? But I mean that's essentially the thing of this movie is in the days of the shopping crazes of, and I'm sure you're old enough to remember, Richie, the Tickle Me Elmos and the Furbies and the whatever else, Tamagotchis and all these different hot toys or whatever in the 90s and whatnot, and the stampedes to get this stuff. But it's just not really it's obviously riffing on that, but it's not really a movie you can do anymore. It's kind of a product of its time. It's really interesting.
You were talking about the Planet Hollywood in Mall of America at one point. I think I went to that one because I went to my first trip to America was around this time. So, and I remember going to a Planet Hollywood, and I think it was around. I think it was that one. So I think I've been. So man, I like the concept of that. And I was like, I went to one. I think I went to a couple around. those others around like the world. I like that. It sucks that they kind of went out because I did like the concept of them. I thought that was kind of cool, but
I went to the one. I went to the ones in Orlando. There was one in Orlando by Disney that I'd been to a couple of times near Pleasure Island, and then I think I'd been to another one in like Atlanta. But I didn't mind the fact that it was it was very basic food or whatever. But I liked walking around while you're waiting for your food and seeing like all the movie props. I thought that was kind of cool, for what it was.
No, I thought it was dope. Like it's just kind of it's like a different dining experience. Like okay, cool. You're not like necessarily you're not necessarily going for the food. It's it is what it is. It's fine. But you get to you're like as a kid you're like, oh my god, there's a statue of Arnie. There's a statue. There's I know sometimes I think they got it original. Oh, there's Rocky, or there's certain things. You're like, oh, cool. And it was like I think I went one that was co-owned by a lot of people, like celebrities, I guess, as well. But that was just
the main Arnie. Three was Arnie, Sly, and Bruce Willis, I believe, were the main three.
So that was cool. It was a good, cool caption of time capsule of the 90s. That was good. I enjoyed.
No,
I should have.
No, I do get nostalgia though, seeing like these types of movies that have like big mall sequences or like set in a mall either in the 80s or the 90s because I do miss like the days of walking around a hopping mall on like a Saturday and going into all the different stores and checking out this, that, and the other, and just you could spend like a whole afternoon just walking around the mall, stopping at the food court, getting food, going into this place and checking out the CDs, going to another place and checking out videos, going to another place and checking out getting some clothes, like just popping all over the place. And I do miss that. And because malls, there's still some around, but it's mostly just like weird small businesses, or like there's a post office in one of the malls near me. It's like a really small one. It's just very like random stuff, you know, and I feel like there's not a lot going on with mall culture these days, and it is something I missed, but I kind of understand that, you know, nobody wants to have the stampede thing anymore, you know, or the rush of like going in and out trying to find the exact thing when you can literally, you know, search it on your phone and find it immediately.
There's the only time that maybe the mall's going to be busy, and I don't understand why you'd go at this time, but like at, you know, Christmas Eve where they shut at like midnight because people will go, oh shit, I haven't bought all my presents yet, and then like, you know, they've left it too late to order anything online, so they're like, oh okay, all right, we'll go to the shops, but then other people have that idea, so that's when you get a stampede. But that's pretty much the only time where it's like, it's pretty much the only time where it's like a bit hectic. Other than that, it's like, it's pretty chill in malls these days.
Yeah, and even the concept of a Black Friday is not even you know, any remnants of that got killed by COVID, so that's dead as well. and literally like that killed it for like 2 years, so it's pretty much not a thing anymore. And even my tradition on Black Fridays of going store to store and looking at like Blu-rays, you know, and DVDs is like not a thing anymore because nobody sells Blu-rays. so you know, and nobody does that anymore. So that's unfortunate. But anyways,
it's Cyber Monday, and then there's like Amazon Prime Day. That's sort of the thing. But cool. We'll go. Yeah.
Let's get into the actual movie. Because we kind of we talked about sort of the theme of the movie, and then why you can't do this anymore. But let's talk about this actual movie. We got Arnold Schwarzenegger, and we'll kind of go through the movie, but also talk about the characters, of course. So Arnold playing Howard Langston, who, from what I can tell, like, is he the owner of like a mattress business? I believe is what I can tell. I think
I think so. Or is he trying to like? Is he trying to like sell people? So it's almost, I don't know if it's almost like he's like trying to. He's got a job that sort of requires people, you know, to turn on the charm and sell, or it's like, I don't know.
It says the Wikipedia says a mattress salesman. I get the impression that he's like either the manager or the owner or something like that. Like he's the head of honcho, though. You know what I mean? He's got his own like upstairs office, you know, everybody's, you know, coming to him. He's on the phone dealing with all like the mass orders because people are like ordering like 200 mattresses of this and 100 of this, you know what I mean? And it seems like he's kind of the head honcho, at least for what it is.
Yeah. I just like that. I mean, it's happened in other movies, but his name's what, Howard Langston, or what? Is it Howard?
Yeah, he always has the American names when he's clearly not.
But he's Austrian, and then no one says anything. He's an Austrian.
Yeah. No, Howard Langston is a famous one. John Matrix. Character. Yeah, there's a list of like character names. John Kimball, you know, he's a lot of Johns. You know, Harry Tasker, True Lies, that's a pretty normal name. John Kruger, he plays a lot of Johns. Holy shit, John Kruger. Running Man, Ben Richards. The only one close is like Julius Benedict and twins. Julius is kind of European-ish, things like that. But yeah, he plays a lot of like a guy who's clearly got some kind of foreign, you know, heritage to him, and he's Howard. Like, no, you're not. But anyways, yeah. So we get Arnold. He's married to Rita Wilson, his wife. So eventually, I think, was she married to Tom Hanks at this time? I think they got married pretty early, right?
I think so. They've been married for quite a while.
Yeah, they've been married for a minute. I think. They were married in '88. So back when he did like Big, they've been married for a long time. Yeah. Hey, good on them. They've been together for this whole time. So hey, good on you. So she looks very good in this movie, by the way. But in my opinion. And their son. Jamie Lloyd, aka Little Annie, Anakin Skywalker from The Phantom Menace. So this was his other claim to fame at the time. I don't know if you've seen any pictures of him, Richie, and I'm not making judgments on the guy, but he looks like he definitely doesn't want to be doing conventions, and he's I'm just saying, like,
time
hasn't been kind to him. Let's put it that way.
From like reading like his story, and I feel bad for like apparently like people after episode 1, like people in like school were like teasing and bullying him. Like I would think the exact opposite. What's wrong with
He's
kids?
in Star Wars. He's in Star Wars.
You're in the movies. You're in Star Wars. Why wouldn't you be the coolest kid in school? I don't understand. What is wrong with kids?
Yeah, I don't get that because like that and like when you watch the movie, we poke fun of like his line deliveries and stuff from the movie, but also at the same time he's a kid and he's doing what George Lucas asked him to do, the director of the movie, and he's giving a performance that obviously George Lucas like wanted, you know what I mean, and cast him for that. So I don't blame him at all. It's the same reason we talk about Ahmed Best, the guy who did Jar Jar. Like, say what you will about Jar Jar, but like the actor Ahmed Best was just doing what George Lucas hired him to do. You know what I mean? And doing what he was scripted to do. So like I don't like blame that guy if you're not a fan of the character, but like I don't blame the person. Like that's silly,
Yeah. It's just weird. Like you get like he got one of the coolest like opportunities that no kid will ever get, and then the kids in his class like, well, you're a fucking loser. And what do, you stupid kid? What do you?
Yeah. So, I mean, so anyways, but he's fine in the movie for what he is. I think he's got kind of a very similar delivery to the Phantom Menace, so maybe that's just his style of how he delivers lines. But he does his thing. He's all right, and
very very Nickelodeon way of delivering line. Very very
like
2000.
just very over exaggerated, loud. Just like Dad's not gonna make it. That sort of thing, right? And it's just very like matter of fact acting. You saw a lot of that on 2000s Nickelodeon sitcoms. That we've talked about before. But he's we get that Howard is he's it's the typical dad thing of like 90s movies where he misses. It's the same thing in like Hook and all these other movies, where the dad is the workaholic who misses the kids baseball games or hobbies or karate, whatever. It's all the same. A substitute random hobby here, you know what I mean? And misses all the stuff. Essentially.
Yeah. And so his big thing is he's got like a karate thing coming up. And probably my unintentionally funny part of the movie is when he's like, I'll make it. And then he gets there, they're all cleaning up. And then, the janitor, they're all, just like there's an empty hall. He just like stares blankly. And he just goes, I didn't make it. I'm like, no shit. No shit, Arnold. Yeah, of course you did it. What gave that away?
That and did you not figure it out when you pulled up to the school and there was nobody in the like literally no one whatsoever, and you still walked into the school and half the lights are turned out. The thing clearly ended an hour ago. So it was very funny. But we get our introduction to, in my opinion, and probably yours as well, the best character in this movie, Ted, played by Phil Hartman, who's so damn good in this movie. He's the best. He's a Weasley character, but like he's so great. He's such a scene stealer, and like I think his delivery in every one of these scenes is amazing. Yeah, even like his facial expressions in that karate scene where he's he's videotaping the thing, and all the women are like leaning over. Oh, Ted, I thank you so much for helping me, fix the screen door or whatever. Or, oh, Ted, I just got this problem and on my porch. I just don't. And when he just kind of like stares and he's kind of got his like eyes like turned up, just like sort of staring off in the distance. And he's just like, I've got just the tool for the job. It's just like, oh my God. He's the best. He's the greatest.
He's great. He's the greatest, smarmiest villain. This is not like too far removed from when he. When did he get killed? I was like,
like literally later this year, like in 1996. Yeah. This is the last movie that was released while he was alive, unfortunately. And then he had a few posthumous releases, Small Soldiers and a few other things right afterwards. But he was, oh no, I'm sorry, not this year. He died in early 98. So he had filmed some stuff in 97 that got released in 98 is what it was. But yeah, for anybody who doesn't know, it's a really unfortunate situation. His wife had some mental problems, some mental illness, maybe even a drug problem with cocaine and whatnot, and literally shot him in his sleep. Yeah, it was a horrible situation, like really horrible situation. And really, really bad.
Yeah, and turn the gun on herself when she's going to get arrested. So yeah, and then I mean it's we'll get to it in the show that does suck out mirrors. Something else we'll talk about later. It's kind of it sucks, but it was good to appreciate he's just that iconic voice and just that great talent, and then but he's never he's so good at the Swami, the kind of I'm very nice, but really I'm not. I'm being condescending. I mean, but I've got ulterior motive.
I'm the bachelor who's like who wants your wife, secretly and is trying to weasel your way into your household so you can try to even though Rita Wilson clearly has zero interest in him whatsoever. You know what I mean? And he's still pursuing it. I maybe he thinks she's just playing hard to get. I don't know, Richie. What's your read on it?
But it's also one of those characters where clearly, Arnie, you can see that he's a weird dude. Yeah. But then everybody else, when he criticizes him to other people, oh, he's a nice, he's like, oh, lighten up. He's good. You're like, no.
He decorated your house. He brought everybody hot chocolate. He got everybody presents, this, that, and the other. And nobody can see it except for him. Yeah. I almost feel like maybe in a way he knows that maybe he's not into it. But I don't know whether it was just to screw with. I don't know. But maybe he feels like he's got the Phil Cartman character is such a narcissist that she'll come around eventually, even though she's got no interest. Eventually, I've just got to. I'll win her over. I'll just do something. I've got to kind of set it up that Howard's a lousy husband, and eventually, there's no other guys in this town, so she'll come to me because I'm closest. I'm next door, and. Well, maybe it's a situation where because she's not interested is the reason he's pursuing her, because he clearly has women that are interested, as that karate scene shows, you know what I mean? Women that are clearly flirting with him and that are interested that he probably could get with very easily. But the one that's clearly not interested and happily married is the one he's going after. So it's one of those. I'm pursuing the forbidden fruit that Well, to me, it's Beauty and the Beast with Gaston. I've always had this theory that the reason why Gaston goes after Belle is because it's the one he can't get. Because there's those blondes in the beginning that are clearly swooning over him, but Belle is not interested, so that's why he's trying to pursue the one that isn't interested. I've always had that theory about that. I think it's a similar situation.
Yeah, there's more of a sense of accomplishment if you're somehow able to woo the maybe unattainable.
With them. Yeah. So we get kind of the crux of the movie. He misses the thing. He says he's going to make it up to Jamie. Jamie is obsessed with this Turbo Man, TV show and the games. That clearly, we get a little glimpse of it in the opening sequence. It's clearly like a Power Rangers, knockoff. And I mean that's what they're going for. It's not ripping it off. It's what they're going for. It's Power Rangers just without Power Rangers. Just one guy. I didn't realize that looking at the credits, and I don't know why I didn't. The three people that play the president, the first lady, and Dementor in the TV show. The president is Harvey Korman from the Mel Brooks movies, Blazing Saddles and stuff. Which I mean, you barely see him. It's like a blink and you miss it thing. But that's Harvey Korman. The first lady is Lorraine Newman from the early SNL years. Yeah, from the late 70s, early 80s SNL. And then the guy playing Dementor is this guy, Richard Mole, who I recognize his name immediately because he's mostly a voice actor, and he voiced Two-Face on the Batman animated series.
Yeah. I know that name, yeah.
Yeah. He's if you look him up, he has like a million voice credits. Like he's a very prominent voice actor. So, and the guy unfortunately who played Turbo Man just did a bunch of like random TV stuff. He's not really like a famous guy. But yeah, like so some blink and you miss it kind of cameos. But yes, clearly riffing on like a Power Rangers type show. It's very similar. In fact, Richie, I saw a fun trivia fact where they filmed that TV sequence from the TV show is the same area they shot the command center from Power Rangers. So there's a direct Power Ranger connection. It's the same like area in California. So which is interesting.
It does look familiar now. You can think about it. Yeah, I do remember like that it's got that same vibe that with the background. So that makes a lot of sense. That does make that makes a lot of sense. That way, you can't just get like, you have to pay a lot of money to be like, hey, I want a Power Ranger for Christmas. People will be like, yeah, this seems like it's product placement. So Turbo, it's like Turbo Man makes it makes more sense. But I've definitely I've definitely recognized that before, I think.
Yeah, for sure. And there's even other weird parallels. Like the Dementor guy has like kind of an exposed brain, and so did Lord Zed on the Power Rangers. If you remember that. And he passes by a movie theater that's showing Turbo Man the motion picture, and this is a year after Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie. So again, they're clearly just riffing on Power Rangers, which is fine. I don't mind that at all. So the hunt is on. Jamie wants a Turbo Man. Of course, he didn't get it. His wife asked him to get it like 2 or 3 weeks in advance. He didn't get it, so it's Christmas Eve. He's got to go out and hunt this thing down. Thus begins kind of essentially. You think about it, Richie. It's a One Crazy Day movie, and I appreciate a One Crazy Day or One Crazy Night movie. And it's that subject because it basically takes place over a 24-hour period from the night before to the following night. So it's a 24-hour One Crazy Day movie. When you think about it.
No, I appreciate that, and there's just one man's frenzy in order to appease his son. It's like where it's like it's like what will appease my son, material possessions. It's like it'll make up for all the lost time. But yeah,
it's classic America, Richie. We make up for lost emotional trauma with possessions and goods. That's what we do. Classic Americana. He's out on the hunt, but as they say in the movie, it's kind of the hottest selling Christmas toy in years. It's going to be very difficult to find. We get this first kind of frenzy where he meets Myron, who's a postal worker who is also the same thing. His kid wants the same action figure. So there's like this rivalry that starts to develop because he wants to be a team, but Howard doesn't want to be on a team. He wants to do it on his own. We get this first kind of frenzy in the toy store, and we get the first film appearance, and I think he was on SNL at the time, but Chris Parnell from SNL.
Chris Parnell, yeah. They're like, he's only a Turbo Man? Oh, Turbo Man.
It's always the hottest selling Christmas toy ever. The other guy that was with him had like one of the best like condescending laughs I think in the entire movie when he's just like the laugh he burst out with was actually so kind of over the top and exaggerated. It's kind of funny. And the way they're just condescending to him, just like we don't have any Turbo Man, but we have his pitfalls like a booster. Like it's very good. But they're battling back and forth. They're throwing each other into shelving. RC cars. All kinds of stuff trying to get. The thing is weird because they're like fighting even on the way out of the store when clearly the store doesn't have any more. So I don't know. I guess they said that one lady had it on layaway, so they're like looking for the lady. But at this point, there's a sea of humanity. I don't know how you would ever find her in the sea of humanity outside the store, or where you would start looking.
But he does find he sees that the Turbo Man doll poking out of the car, and like driving off. I don't know how that just coincidentally he was in the right timing. He's able to fine.
Yeah. but yeah, it's all for naught. So yeah, we kind of, I think that one kind of goes into the first montage where he's they kind of montage him, just going from like store to store. He's going to like museums. Like it's really weird. He's going to like toy museums. He's like, why would a toy museum have one for sale? That makes no sense.
If it's new, like it's a museum. Like it's not a relic. It's not like so it's a new toy. That's not an idea of a museum. They store.
So yeah, and he kind of bumps back into Myron again, and they go back and forth. This is where we get the famous scene, the put the cookie down thing when he checks in, with his wife. He goes to check in there, and Ted picks up the phone, and another great, just Phil Hartman, just so like he just eats up the screen every time. Oh, hey Howard, how's it going, buddy? Just like, oh man, your wife's making up a storm in here.
I'm so
there's cooking.
Put the cookie down.
Put that cookie down now. But my favorite line in that one is when he's like, could you please go get my wife? He's like, I don't know. She might be in the shower, Howard. You want me to go check? Just the way he kind of you want me to go check? No. Again, Phil Hartman, every time he pops up on screen, it's like my favorite thing in the movie. He's so good with the kind of limited scenes that he has. He makes the most of it. He's great. But yeah, he checks in. He runs into Myron again. They hear that there's going to be a late delivery at Toy Works, which is where we get the Mall of America scene. And yeah, they head to the Mall of America. And again, it's kind of cool to see the Mall of America on screen because not a lot of movies would film there. Essentially, because it was so busy all the time, it was hard to do crowd control at the Mall of America because you couldn't really like cordon off, mass amounts of the mall. Because when I saw in the trivia every time they try to film stuff, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger filming a movie, so everybody wants to see, what's going on, essentially, or trying to lean over balconies or peek through other stores or whatever, trying to get there. But Brian Levant did say mostly the people were pretty cooperative and the extras they had and whatnot. But yeah, it's another kind of just absolutely bonkers scene where they're going to do this lottery with the balls, and everybody just fighting over these rubber balls, and they're tackling each other and they're wrestling each other, and Myron is macing people in the face, and
Arnie's chasing a girl. It turns out to be as a boy,
a little girl.
A girl, yeah,
it's a girl.
Yeah,
it's a girl. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a girl. Yeah, and then they chase him she chases him her into a ball pit, and then the person, I guess a mom or an old lady comes over and just bashes him with her hand.
All the moms, bashing them with the mom bags. Yeah, no, it's very, very good. I will say, just on a side note, that playground looked awesome. That looked like a dope.
I know. It made me nostalgic for I know you probably have equivalents, but there was a because I spent a few years in New Zealand before I moved here, but it was I used to have birthdays at a place called Megazone, and then you'd go down and slide into the ball pit, and I'm like, man, that was fun. Sometimes it's cool to be.
I spent a week at a place this mini summer camp at a place near me called the Discovery Zone. It was probably very similar to your thing, where it was that type of thing, just indoors, with all the slides and the tunnels and ball pits and everything like that. It was cool for a day, and doing it for a week was not very fun. You got bored very quickly. You were there for after a couple hours, you're good. But I do miss places like that. Yeah, that was a big thing in the 90s. We also neglected. I neglected to mention there's a subplot that he keeps running into this cop played by Roger Conrad, who is the one who gives it's a running gag where he keeps running into him. He gives him the speeding ticket at the beginning, and then he runs into him again because he runs over his motorcycle, on the way to Mall of America, and gets another ticket. And then later on he'll pop up in the bomb sequence, which we'll get to in a second. I don't know what to make of the bomb sequence and what happens afterwards. We'll get there. It's bizarre.
There's parallels between this movie and a movie that came out not that long after, Liar Liar, where
right,
it's a dude who's kind of he works too much and he neglects his like family life and he just wants to do the right thing for his kid, and then like stuff happens, and then obviously in my life he gets caught up for he gets a lot of tickets, but yeah, and he just keeps getting into issues. So yeah, I don't know, it's just interesting. I guess like you said, it's probably a '90s thing, but yeah, it's just interesting.
It's just a '90s thing where, like, yeah, every other dad in a movie was like the workaholic dad who was like trying to please his kid. You know, that was just a very like prevalent theme. You know, in the '90s, even to a degree of like even the Santa Claus with Tim Allen kind of has a little bit of that, you know, the fact that, you know, he probably got a divorce because he was a workaholic, you know, at his company, and, you know, his kid is not always, you know, too thrilled to be there, you know, that he always kind of lets him down, you know, with the dinners and whatnot. So even that's kind of a parallel as well with another Christmas movie. So, but yeah, he catches up with Myron again. They have the diner sequence where they start to work their issues out. They're bonding over, you know, the fact that they both struck out, and he's talking about the toy that, you know, he wanted when he was a kid, and everything's kind of going a little. I do like the cutaway. The cutaway is insane, where like he imagines his kid drinking liquor in the postal outfit, and with Jake Lloyd has like the postal hat on, and he's like, "Here's to you, Dad." Glug glug glug. Like, I was like, wow, that's kind of dark for this movie.
Other than that, do we even ever see Sinbad's kid in the movie? Or he just talks?
No, we never see him. Yeah, and we just know that he has a son. Yeah, out there somewhere. Yeah, we never really get like a resolution to it or see like anything where he gets it, because we'll talk about it at the end. But like, I don't know how he's going to give the kid the action figure when he's in jail. I don't know how that's going to work. But you know, we'll talk about it when we get there. But yeah, he has a fight with Jamie on the phone. They have kind of a blow up because, you know, it's the typical "you never keep your promises," you know, sort of thing. And you know, he's kind of over it. But we get Martin Mull on the radio in another, you know, small role, saying that you can get your hands on a Turbo Man if you name the reindeer, and of course the dumbass callers don't know the eight reindeer. They're naming Jackson 5 members and whatnot. But yeah, they run to the radio station. He basically, you know, kicks down the door of the radio station and goes in there and like holds Martin Mull ransom essentially for a Turbo Man. And then Myron gets there after. Yeah, and this is where we get the scene where he claims to have a bomb, and obviously the first time he doesn't, it's just a little, you know, music box or whatever. But yeah, once the police show up, they get cornered, and he once again, you know, claims he has, you know, explosive device. And then we get this insane sequence where the same cop is there, and he claims to have been on the bomb squad for like 10 years. So he's like sniffing the box. He's, you know, shaking it around. He's saying, "Oh, you know, this is just a Christmas present, no problem." And he opens it up and he gets blown up. But in like
Arnie's like, I think left the thing, and you just see his face like, what? It's like a very cartoon. It's a very cartoonish. It's just sort of over his face. It's like, dude, you'd be blown to pieces. Like, why is your limbs not all over the
Yeah, no, it's literally like a Wile E. Coyote situation where, he's just got soot on his face. His hair is like blown, you know, standing straight up. But nobody around him was affected. Like, I watched the cops around him in the scene. None of them were affected whatsoever. It was the most contained mini explosive of all time. And then my issue is within the chronology of the movie, Richie, like, he runs into the same cop like 2 hours later, not a scratch on him, no effects whatsoever. So, you know, when he runs into him, you know, before he gets to the parade and he spills the coffee on him, dude, he's got no marks on him, no nothing. Did he go to the hospital? Like, did he get patched up immediately? Did he heal? Is he Wolverine? Does he have a healing factor? What is going on with this guy? I don't understand it.
And when like, you know, when Sinbad's arrested later, is he going to get, you know, arrested for attempted murder?
That's what I mean. He's clearly like he's one of the guys who apprehends Sinbad at the end of the movie. Yeah, I know we're jumping ahead a little bit. He apprehends Sinbad at the end of the movie. he definitely would recognize him, right? Like as this bomb guy that he ran into earlier, because you wouldn't forget that, right? Like you'd be telling everybody about that. And clearly this guy would be wanted at that point for, blowing up a police officer. And then, not only is he going to go to jail for, like attempted, I don't know, whatever, kidnapping, whatever you want to call it, mayhem, whatever against, at the parade, but like also the attempted murder of a police officer, essentially, So, I mean, he's not getting out of jail to give the action figure to his kid. It's not happening,
Yeah, you might as well just let Jamie. Yeah, we'll get to that. There's a lot of logic issues, even with Jamie giving it to him. It's like, God damn it. But yeah.
Because that cop seems very stingy to where every single time, he gives Arnold the ticket or he goes after Arnold, I don't think he's going to be one of those guys that's going to be like, drop the charges. You know what I mean? Like,
you actually finally did something really bad. You could have killed me, but luckily you could. I guess a faulty bomb, which surprisingly I'm not blown to shreds. So, but nah, it's fine. It's Christmas.
Fine. It's Christmas. Yeah, I forgive you. No big deal. Oh, you were just trying to get a toy for your kid. No problem. That's all good. We don't really get a resolution to all that, but that's as close as we get. We can only kind of infer. But he's in handcuffs at the end of the movie. He's definitely going to jail. So, I just mean that guy's. There's no way that guy's letting him slide. He doesn't let Arnie slide the entire movie. So, there's no way he's letting Myron slide. But anyways, so. Howard kind of strikes out. One of the other bizarre sequences, while he's at the radio station, right? He comes back because he ran out of gas. So he comes back with gas. And right in front of that diner where there were workers there was a chef there. There was a cook there, right? Like that one guy, who gives him the coffee. Yeah. He's there. And then right in front of that diner, that car got completely stripped down to the metal. What? How did that happen? Right in front of the... I guess the guy was just like, well, I'm not going to interfere. I'm not a snitch. I didn't call the cops.
I'm just a chef, man.
He didn't clearly see what had to have been a gang of people stripping that car, because one person, it would take them all day, but clearly would have been a gang of people that just stripped the car right in front of the diner, and nobody gets called, and the cops don't get called, nothing. No investigation. None whatsoever. But whatever. Arnold's just kind of like, I'm defeated anyways. I'm out of here. So
snitches get stitches, man. I'm just here to cook. I'm not here to witness any crimes. I didn't witness anything. No, totally.
Oh, by the way, I completely neglected the subplot. That's my bad. The Jim Belushi subplot. Holy crap! How did I forget that? Okay, that whole sequence. We got to talk about that sequence. The Jim Belushi scamming Santa sequence. I completely forgot that was before that. So when he's leaving the mall, he runs into Jim Belushi, who he's done movies with, by the way. From Red Heat, he's in Red Heat with him. And then what's his name? I'm trying to remember his name. He's from Seinfeld and Watchmen. It's Danny Woodburn, who plays the elf in that sequence as well. Yeah, he's Mickey on Seinfeld. They run this what is this operation, Richie? I don't understand. It's like black market toys. Like, what are we doing here? What is this?
It's like it's a weird universe that this Jingle All the Way exists in. But it's like this weird underground like cult black market where it's like that there was like the secret lair where he had to go in. It's like what's the password? No, is it Jingle Bells, Batman smell? Batman smell. All right, and then and he realized it's all these elves and more Santas, and they're they're running this a scheme, and then and he catches onto it, and then gets to an argument, and then he just into a fight scene where you get the introduction of Vern Troyer for one. Vern Troyer for one. So the first time I've seen him. And then what would be the Giant at the time, because he hadn't debuted in WWE, so it was the Giant, the big show.
Big show.
So And this is just a weird segment. Like,
This,
I think someone just wrote down. At some point we need Arnie to have a fight with a bunch of Santa Claus. How do we get to that point?
how do we get to that point? I don't know. They run a operation of black market toys. How are they making money off this, Richie? They're selling like stuffed animals and like fake, plastic guns and just generic toys. Like, how are we making mass amounts of profit off this? I don't understand where the money is coming from. You know what I mean? There's cash everywhere. I don't get it. Like, how are we making money?
Are they going out selling it door to door? I don't know. How do you online's not really what it was is now. I don't know how you do it. How it looks very obvious, fake. So I don't know. Maybe you're not supposed to think as much as we are.
Yeah, I don't think you're supposed to think about it for more than 5 seconds, but I had to because I just don't. I don't get it. Like, I don't get what they're. It's a counterfeit ring, so like, but why would you need to counterfeit like stuffed animals? What's the scam? That I don't know. Like, it just and you're counterfeiting popular toy. I mean, I get the counterfeit like Turbo Man thing because the popular thing. Okay, maybe I could somewhat understand that, but then again, you'd also have to do all these transactions one by one. So are you taking every person that wants to buy one back to this secret warehouse and then scamming them out of $300? Like, that seems like a very inefficient plan,
And if you take everybody back to that secret warehouse, eventually, just a numbers game. Some people are going to clue on, and then word's going to spread that there is a secret warehouse, and then your gig's up. So I don't know.
And it's not like they blindfold Arnold. We're taking him there. He drove there, so he knows where it is. Like, even if he did that, he would immediately like call the police afterwards and be like, "Hey, there's this guy, weird Santa cult that's selling black market toys over by the river. That's his warehouse." Like, it just seems like a very inefficient plan. Like, whoever wrote the sequence did not think about it for more than like 10 seconds when they wrote it.
Oh, and the password is Jingle Bells Batman Smells, because he told me right when I was next to him. So if they ask for the password, just say that.
Yeah. I mean, they get busted anyway. So obviously, again, their planning was not long term because they get busted pretty quickly. Because if you're just taking everybody there, somebody's going to call the cops eventually. But anyways, so kind of getting back to the start of the third act, he he eventually gets back home and he's kind of run out of options, but he remembers that Phil Hartman has a Turbo Man under his tree, for his kid. So he thinks for a second about, stealing that. And he kind of has a second thought because, he's stealing from a kid. He doesn't want to steal from a kid, because the kid's innocent in the situation. So Phil Hartman's a weasel, but, he is a dad, to the kid, and the kid likes him. But it turns into this Rube Goldberg clusterfuck of like, he tries to put it back, and then like the reindeer gets in there and causes havoc.
To mention that, because he's going above and beyond and kind of like shoving it in Howard's face that how good of a dad he is. He buys his son he gives his son a reindeer for Christmas.
Yeah, he's a reindeer who, of course, causes havoc, and he's like running all over the house and like knocking things over. A statue gets like thrown into a fire, gets kicked through the window. And eventually, they see him because the window gets broken, and he gets busted kind of red-handed, trying to steal the present. And then at that point, after the fact, and it's cleared out, the reindeer comes back into the scene, and Arnold punches a reindeer in the face, and that happens in the sequence, which is kind of insane. One of the most insane moments I may have ever seen on film, that he punches a reindeer square in the jaw.
I think that someone wrote, Arnold punches reindeer in the face. How do we get to that point? We need
It'd be like, okay, we have a grown man punching an animal. How do we get there and make it seem logical that he would punch an animal in the face? Okay, and then that said animal bonds with him because they have a mutual respect now because Arnold knocked him out. So now he's going to get drunk with him behind the house and drink beer.
Yeah. Remember how funny that scene in Blazing Saddles was when he punches the horse can we recreate that with a? Can we kind of do that with a reindeer?
Yeah, but the difference was that Mongo in Blazing Saddles was the villain of the movie, and he pushed horse. Arnold straight up just socks a reindeer in the jaw, and then it gets him drunk. Yeah, the animatronic goes like, and then they have a. It's like when you fight a bully, and then the bully has like mutual respect for you, and now we're cool. Yeah. So let's get drunk together. But anyways, they go to this parade, and essentially the third act is mostly this like parade that they're going to, this holiday entertainment parade, whatever they call it. It's kind of like a pseudo Macy's Day parade, if you've ever seen one of those, Richie, over here in America. Yeah, the one they do in New York City. But they're in Minneapolis, by the way, for most of this movie, the Twin Cities. So Ted drives them, and this is where he gets kind of his final sequence where he gets sort of what's coming to him, because he gets her alone in the car, tries to flirt with her some more, and he starts taking it too far to where he's like physically like grabbing her and stuff like that, and pouring eggnog.
He's got eggnog. He goes, and then she eventually socks him, and he just does the image of like eggnog, crooked glasses and eggnog on his face. Like,
yeah. Oh, that didn't go the way I had hoped. Yeah. And that's just about the last kind of we see of him, because you see him retrieving his kid, and then being like, his dad's Turbo Man. Let's get out of here. And that's pretty much it. That's the last we see of Phil Hartman. Unfortunately, he doesn't really get another sequence, but he kind of gets what's coming to him, and he shoots the shot and it fails. And Arnold even sees it. So. He gets he runs into the cop again, and then that's where again when I watched the movie, I'm just like, the cop, there was no repercussions from the bomb going off in his face. He's just fine. And at this, he's on this parade float even, and he's totally fine. Like 2 hours later, okay, I guess. Like, all right, I guess it was just like a play bomb or something. I don't know, a puff of smoke. But yeah,
what was the reactions when in the office? You know what I mean? Like when you went back to precinct, like, oh, why you got like black all over your face? Oh, a bomb went off. What? A bomb went off on my face.
So you want to like file any paperwork on that, or are you just gonna like go to the parade?
Are you sure you want to? You don't want to go home, or?
Well, that, and even like just that whole situation, that dude would have been filling out paperwork the entire afternoon, being like, okay, so there was this crazed mailman who we had like a hostage situation at this radio station, who then I responded, then I sniffed this bomb thing I thought was a bomb, then I thought it was, and then it went off in my face. It didn't hurt anybody. He'd be filling out paperwork for days. You know what I mean? Like, of just explaining this insane situation.
Sinbad's mug would be on the news.
They'd be like, this crazed postal worker set off a bomb in a radio station after a hostage situation. They plaster his face on the news and be like, we need your help finding this man immediately. He could be a danger to society. So anyways, Arnold stumbles his way in this chase kind of backstage to this building. They think he's this like stunt guy who's supposed to be Turbo Man, because the other guy had apparently like a jetpack accident, because they talk about how he's like he has like he's like a vegetable now, like he has no brain activity after the accident. The guy says like, it's really unfortunate what happened to, Phil or whatever his name is. He's like, but the doctor said he showed a little bit of brain activity this morning, so that's a good sign. And I'm just like, what happened? Did he shoot up 100 feet in the air and the jetpack cut off and he like landed on his head, and fell to the ground like a vegetable? Like, geez, that's dark. So
you don't need to use actual jetpacks, guys. You can just have them like
why are we building real working jetpacks for a parade? Like, what are we doing? Like, you could just have a prop jetpack, and even all the weapons he has the full on like disc shooters. He's got the boomerang. He's got everything, and it's like, I get that you wanted, the idea was that they were going to stage this, choreographed, fight sequence or whatever. Fine, like a little mini stunt show. I get that. It's like something you would see at an amusement park, like a Universal or something, right? Or Disney, right? And it's very choreographed. They used to do the Batman stunt show at Six Flags, things like that. I get it. But like, Batman doesn't have real working batarangs at the stunt show. You know what I mean? Like, the Batmobile is not really shooting fire out of the back. It's like on a track, or whatever. Like it's the stuff is fake. It's not real. You would have them like wearing a suit with a prop jetpack and prop weapons, and they would have a choreographed like hand fight, right? Essentially. And like, yeah, the fact that he has a real working jetpack that literally damn near killed a guy apparently the day before in rehearsals, and you're still going to go through with this, that would be an OSHA violation 100%.
Yeah, like there's no like, yeah, like, oh yeah, like, and how long ago did that happen? Like a few days ago. You're like, nah, cool, I'm just we're gonna keep, there's what, it's fine, we'll get, what's another guy, what's another body, it's fine. He'll be right.
No, the people organizing the parade or whoever the safety company doing it would be like, no, there's no way in hell you're doing this. Absolutely not. Literally, it completely went wrong, and you damn near killed a guy. It's over. You're not doing that. Like we're not even having the fight scene. You know what I mean? You're just gonna stand on the float and wave at people. That's all you're gonna do. Yeah. We're not even doing like the stunt portion. You're just gonna have a parade float. Like, there's no way this would go forward. But it's
you're lucky we're even letting you do anything. To be fair,
yes, I think you're even in the parade at all. Yeah, 100%. That's what's going forward with this. So you have to throw logic out the window with this movie, which I can still watch it and like, because it's entertaining, because it's so insane that I can enjoy it on an insanity level. But yeah, it's insane, this whole sequence. He's flying around in this jetpack. He's like running into buildings. He's getting swung around like a pole. He's going through buildings, like through people's living rooms. It's bonkers. He's flying all over the place. Yeah. Good.
Yeah, and then like, yes, the Sinbad, like Jamie's like, got the got the Turbo Man dolly. He's like hanging precariously off the building, and like, I'm like, what the hell? This is like, obviously he's on a start show. Like, this is like child endangerment at this point. What is going on? This is like,
well, Sinbad also to add to his charges, I was going to say, he also, the original Dementor actor, he like definitely assaulted and tied that guy up too, right? So that's another essential, assault and battery charges as well. Yeah, child endangerment, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, attempted assault. Rack up the charges. This dude has a rap sheet by the end of this movie. 100%. He's going to jail for like 30 years. You know what I mean? He completely threw his life away in one afternoon and a series of bad decisions.
Yeah. So then after he's Turbo Insanity saves the day. It's not. This is funny. I always find this funny. And the Turbo saves the day, right? And it's not until Arnie lifts up the helmet. Before
he doesn't recognize his voice and his stature.
When Jamie's like, Dad. And I'm like, your dad's got a very distinct voice. He's a big Austrian dude going, Jamie.
Jamie.
And then trigger something in your head.
Yeah. Like, it's that, yeah, and it's not like he has a full helmet with like a full visor. Even the visor just barely covers his eyes. So you got from the nose down, the distinct Arnold, look and everything. There's no detective work needed to determine this is your dad. 100%. But oh my god, that's my dad. Howard. And then go ahead. Good.
Oh yeah, I was just saying, he gives him so he's just like, hey, give him he gives Jamie the Turbo Man doll, and then Jamie has to change of heart, and he gives it to Sinbad, and he goes, well, why would I need the Turbo Man? I got the real Turbo Man at home. And I'm like, your dad went through all this fucking trouble to get you this doll. He finally got you this doll, and you gave it away, you dick.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I get the basic idea of it, but yeah, at the same time, it's just like, yeah, Arnold's got to be like, what? I stumbled into this insane situation where I finally got one. Yeah, and you gave it to this dude who tried to like harm you, cause physical harm to you. Okay.
Trying to kill you.
Yeah. So all right, fair enough. But he's going to jail, so it's all fine. Yeah, but anyways, they get home. Yeah, he puts the star on the tree, and they have the button of the issue of like, oh, Howard, if you did all that for Jamie, what'd you get me? And it's the very comical, like, oh, like zoom in on the voice, like, what? Well, and I think there's even an extended sequence. Because I watched the extended cut where he mentions like, oh, that's why I was being like mysterious all day or like running out all day because I was doing this elaborate like thing where I was going to be Turbo Man, right? However, Richie, that does not explain why he comes home with a stripped car, a stripped truck, like in the middle of the day. It does not explain him breaking into Phil Hartman's house to steal a toy. That does not explain that whatsoever. It doesn't explain the like fight on the phone. It doesn't explain away any of that shit other than like I was out all day, but like it does not explain the part where he came back home and like did all these horrendous things. You know what I mean? That doesn't explain that. You still have to explain why you did all that shit. So I don't think the writers of this movie thought it all the way through, like more than 10 seconds on means. Because if he was just out all day shopping and he was unsuccessful, and then he showed up at the parade, like that would be one thing. You can maybe explain that away and be like, oh yeah, I was being secretive because I was going to do this elaborate thing, whatever. I just couldn't tell you. Okay, cool. Like I get that, but yeah, that doesn't explain all the stuff you did in between all that, so it just doesn't. So yeah, it's bizarre, but that's how it kind of ends. Of just like he didn't get anything for his wife, and now it's Christmas. Ooh, it's like, how do you not get something at least for your wife? I get you for getting the Turbo Man, but like you can. Arnold seems like a guy. He runs his business. He could have had one of his like assistants go out and get this stuff, right? Like his like secretary or something.
Yeah. You'd think so. If you don't like if you were trying to if you're prompted to try and get your son something and you didn't get him something until the last minute, but as a result you didn't get your wife something at all, and you like at one point you just be like, maybe I'm a shitty person, because it's like surely you had time, like like you didn't organize like something like where someone else is like I don't know, like there's a lot of other hardworking like CEOs of companies that make time to go to go to get their family stuff. You could have worked it out.
Yeah. Well, and that's another parallel to a Liar Liar. Remember where his secretary gets like the baseball stuff for his kid because he forgot, Yeah, because she took the time to actually do it and wrap it, and he probably paid her extra for that or whatever. Like Arnold could do the same thing. He could like pay somebody to be like, hey, go out and get this list of stuff today, and I'll pay you extra to go do it. You know what I mean? He clearly has the money. Like he's got money, so yeah, he's got the means.
But like, what else is on his mind? Just like mattresses? Like, I don't understand. Like,
are the mattress orders? Yeah, is he selling so many mattresses that he has zero time in the day to get out of there? Like, how many mattresses are needed around the state of Minnesota? I don't understand this.
Like, does he work on weekends? Is like mattresses.
I gotta be in the office every day. 24 hours a day. I 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. every day. Mattresses.
You can't go out on a weekend and get something.
Well, and yeah, even thinking about it beyond that, Richie, have you ever seen a mattress store pass by one that ever had any customers in it? Is there that much of a demand for mattresses on a daily basis? I swear, every time I pass a mattress store, I never see a single customer in a mattress store. I'm convinced they're fronts for money laundering, 100%.
Yeah, but like, if there's like a full tax mattress store, I'm like, my thought would be like, who's stealing people's mattresses? Why do you not have why do you all have not have mattresses? Like, why do you all need mattresses at the same time? So yeah,
and who is ordering 400 mattresses like in the opening scene? What is that for?
What do they need to do? Is it for another mattress store?
The only thing I can think of is if you were like opening a hotel, like maybe you had to order like 100 mattresses for like a hotel, right, or something for all the rooms. But like, are there so many hotels being opened all at once that you're just 100 mattresses for you, 200 mattresses for you, 300 mattresses for you? Like what? Like no. So I don't know. I don't get it. Anyways, yeah, this movie breaks.
They're probably just like, we got this character named Howard. Where does he work? Mattress store. Okay.
He could just be like, CEO of generic corporation. Like, you didn't really have to even be specific, right? That he's just workaholic, always at the office doing something. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't have to be like super specific. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because this doesn't explain why he has to be there in the week. I don't know why you have to be there in the week.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's just weird.
You can't. But anyways, I mean, we picked this movie apart enough, like, and its finer details of every plot line. But I mean, but it's still. I mean, we've kind of ripped it apart. But at the same time, I think come around, and I'm sure you're the same way. We were just like, but damn, it's entertaining. It's pretty fun.
I think because I pick it apart, that's why I like it. I think it'd be less a movie if it didn't have rules. I think the movie works because it's just insane and has those logic issues. And I put it and I love it for it. So and I'll continue watching it on this Christmas season because it's great.
No, I'm the same way because I still like, again, the performances in the movie. I think Arnold is funny in it. I think Sinbad is actually like pretty good at what he does in the movie. Phil Hartman is amazing. Like, if anything else, like, you have to love Phil Hartman's scenes in this movie. He's fantastic. Every scene he has, he just annihilates it every single time. Yeah, he kills it. Everybody's good. But yeah, I mean, it is insane and crazy. So it's like a product of its time of just like, when you break down the movie, you're just like, what? Like, what? How do we get from here to here to here to here to A to B to C to D? I don't know. But and we're ending with jetpacks and whatever. It's because we have to have like. It's an Arnold movie, so we have to have a pseudo action scene, even in this like shopping movie about a guy trying to get a toy, whatever. But it still has like, again, it has the Christmassy vibes. It all takes place on Christmas Eve, so it's got all that stuff. The soundtrack is good. I think all the Christmas music they use is very, very good. It's a banger soundtrack, for what it is, so it works. I mean, I still watch it just because, it's entertaining, and I would be harder on it if the movie wasn't entertaining. I think you're the same way, Richie. I will pick apart a movie and like destroy it if I wasn't entertained, if I was bored, you know what I mean? Or whatever. Like if it was a movie where I was not having fun, like I would pick it apart harder. But like if I'm having fun with it, if I'm entertaining with it, I can poke fun at it and pick it apart, but still be like, yeah, but it's fun. It's entertaining,
It's
like,
fun,
I'm more harsher on stuff like, I don't know, just like a Stranger's Chapter 2 or a Megan 2.0, we're just bored, or whatever. And then I really pick it apart, and I'm way more cruel to it. But at least like when I'm having fun, I can forgive things while I'm watching it, it just is what it is.
Yeah.
So, we'll wrap it up there. So, we picked this movie enough apart. We gotta talk some wrestling. We're running a little behind tonight, which is partially my fault. So I apologize about that. We'll wrap it up there. But it's a fun movie. I still dig it and have a good time. I enjoy it. I laugh. It's crazy. It's a product of the '90s. And how kind of over the top and insane some of these movies were and their premises, and just set in these alternate realities where all this nonsense can happen. So it works. It's fun, and I know Richie the same way. So, I enjoy it, and I had a good time talking about it and picking it apart because I knew that would happen. We would just start going down rabbit holes of like, but wait a minute, what about this? Like, what about this? I don't know, how does this work? And then, but it's a good time. So I enjoyed yapping about it. But as far as what we got coming up, so obviously, R.I.P. Rob Reiner. Tragic situation on what happened there. Nobody deserves to have that like happen to them. It's an insane situation. We will be doing a Rob Reiner movie. We don't know yet. We kind of held off. Like, Richie and I both agreed. It was like it wasn't like our first priority to be like, oh my God, Rob Reiner was horrendously murdered. What movie should we do for our silly Wheel of the Movie show? We wanted to at least like let it like settle for a little bit, before we figured it out. And so we will do it on the next episode in 2 weeks after the Christmas break. We don't know what we're gonna do yet. We might put a poll up, and like we have a group behind the scenes, comprised of a bunch of people. Might do like a poll in there and kind of figure out. I'm sure it'll be one of the 6 or 7 like early ones he did, on that run he had, from like Spinal Tap to like The American President or something, like that run. It'll be one of those movies. So it'll be like Spinal Tap or Princess Bride or Misery or A Few Good Men or Stand By Me or something like that. You know what I mean? It'll be one of those, I'm sure. Or When Harry Met Sally, things like that. So it'll be one of those, I'm sure.
Yeah,
we'll figure it out. So.
Yeah. No. It's an unfortunate situation, but look, I think that's the best way to sort of honor him is like acknowledge that he was a fantastic filmmaker, and like given that we've got a lot of films to choose from, that speaks to his talent, and it's just thoughts to his family, and I'm looking forward to like in a couple of weeks till we get to see what we get to delve into. So. It should be good. I will say I'm sort of maybe gunning for, like, if we do a poll, I'm gunning for maybe something like this is more lighthearted affair just because circumstance, but we'll see. We'll
just to keep it lighthearted, so like maybe either Spinal Tap or like Princess Bride or something like that.
I don't know, just like I mean, well, we'll talk, but it's it's good. I'm looking forward to the episode nonetheless. Rob Reiner's a great, fantastic director, and and we've got a lot of great films to choose from. So looking forward to next week.
We'll put up a little poll in our group, and we'll kind of see where everybody's vibing at and what they kind of want us to do, and then we'll go from there. So, a lot of good stuff. No matter what it is, it'll be a good movie. So we'll figure it out. We'll come back with that, and then we might have even a tribute episode after that because we kind of talked about wanting to do a Kerry Tagawa episode for Mortal Kombat. Yeah, because I love that guy a lot. I love character actors, and that dude was awesome. And he was in a lot of like really cool movies back in the day. And obviously, Mortal Kombat, he's pretty iconic. Shang Tsung in that movie. So, and that would just be a fun one again to kind of break down and just talk about. Because there's a lot going on in that movie. We'll get to them and we'll figure it out. So, but we'll take a break next week for Christmas, obviously. Let everybody enjoy the holidays, and then we'll come back with some Rob Reiner movie. We'll let you guys know. But anything else you want to plug real quick, Richie, or anything else you got?
No, that's pretty much. Don't have much further. Just Lonely Marks here in just a minute. Talking about John Cena and the finish, which I was a fan of.
I liked it too, and I'll have to break down and explain it for the people who didn't understand it. I'll be happy to do so. So tune in.
It should be a good time. And then happy Christmas to everybody, or however you celebrate, and look forward to next episode, and but you can I'll probably around other trivia spaces here and there, but I've got nothing penciled in yet, but just keep an eye out for ASAPs and everything. I might pop up there.
I just taped a Wily of Horror little matchup that got kind of wonky, but it worked out in the end. So that should be coming out this week. Richie was on with us for Recast the other night talking about Christmas Vacation. We did a Christmas Vacation recast, and that was a good time. We had a good time doing a fantasy recast of that. Tomorrow night will be we'll have a blind voting Christmas movie mystery tournament. So one of those things where we vote, A or B in the first round, and it's very breezy, very quick, and but all Christmas movies. So we'll do one of those, and then we'll be off next week for the holiday, and we'll come back strong with Wheel of Movies. We've got a couple of unique tournaments that week. We've got Jonathan Caro's 70s tournament. We've got the most anticipated episode, which should be a lot of fun, and then Richie will join us for the worst movie posters, which is going to be a lot of fun. We're gonna have a good time with that one because it's just going to be awful posters and us critiquing them and pointing out the bad photoshops and floating heads and posters that don't make sense and size scaling and all kinds of nonsense. Bad placement of titles and whatever, just all kinds of stuff. So yeah, we'll talk about that. And that'll be a good time where we'll just be voting on the posters, and that'll be a lot of fun. So we'll come back to that as well. So we'll wrap it up there for tonight for Jingle All the Way. So for Richie Goodacre, thanks for joining me as always. I am Austin Pez Howell, and we'll see you guys next time on The Wheel of Movies. Bye.